Working Title Podcast, man. We back again. You know what we do, man. We do these interviews every chance we can get, bro. But we got another one in the building after a long day. We doubling down. It's our second interview of the day. We back in Baltimore. We made the quick trip down to D.C., but we back in Baltimore for a good one. We got a special guest in the building. If you know Baltimore, if you know hoops, if you know Baltimore hoops, you know who I got in the building with me today. I got Terry Hosley in the building. What's up, Terry?
What's up, fam? How you feeling, man? Happy to be here, man.
Appreciate you coming on, bro. You know, it's kind of funny. Usually when we, putting interviews together, it's like, put it together, pick a date, take my time, get my questions ready all day. Yeah. But with this one, we got to get it out quick. So we got some shit going on.
Yeah,
right?
Man.
Tell us about what you got going on, bro. Let's get to it.
Oh, man, always, free smoke is always, on the menu. But I got my, my last little one-on-one run, my farewell tour about to start worldwide. So I'm excited, I feel like I came a long way, I built some relationships all over the country, you know what I'm saying? And, I know there's a lot of guys that want a shot at it. So, let's get to it.
Yeah, no doubt. For those, so we got some viewers. We're trying to expand our viewership a little bit. So for the ones who might not know, can you tell us what the Free Smoke Tour is?
The Free Smoke Tour started 2019. It's a one-on-one league. it's just basically, of course, try your best to provide a safe environment, for, men, women, and children, all races, all ages, provide a high level of entertainment, so you can be entertained with viewing a high level of competition between the two, and it's one-on-one, and it's just basically, to put a lot of eyes on the players, get their waves start rolling, and then, just try to, get them to make some money, get them to, expand their own brand, and, get to explore all over the country, and, just to get opportunities and things like that. So that's basically what the Free Smoke.
Just another avenue for these hoopers to try to get their name out, right?
Yeah.
So
we try to make it the avenue, the of course everybody else league matters, but we try to make it this is that was the whole goal from the start, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And where are we gonna catch the tour this summer? Where we heading?
First stop, Chicago. Chicago, Illinois is the first stop. But we hitting Chicago, we hitting Seattle, Washington, we hitting Vegas, LA, Texas, Atlanta, New Orleans, Jersey, New York, Florida, all over Florida, all over New York. The New York run gonna be crazy because we gotta go. And I gotta play the best cards in each barrel. And
gotta head off.
Shout out to my boy Tricks. He was telling. He's from Harlem. And he was telling me in New York, the shit just so weird. Every 2 blocks, they got their own hood legend. You know what I'm saying? It still could be Harlem, but it's every 3 blocks, this is the guys. 5 blocks down, this is the guy. You know what I mean? So it's we gonna have to pick and choose the right way. You know what I'm saying? But we want the top of the line, top of the line, make sure it makes sense. So,
I can't hold you, bro. It's like somebody's been a fan, of Free Smoke for years. This is the coolest thing ever to me, to watch y'all go out of town, encapsulate new talent, not just doing Baltimore, going other places, showcasing how Baltimore can play against other cities, things like that.
And I'm going to bring a lot of, basically, it's each city is going to, we're going to throw an event there. So I'm going to be bringing a lot of hitters with me.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're going to, play on the undercard and things like that. And at the end of the tour, it's going to turn into, documentary. Yeah. And I'm going to put it in theaters, so.
Kind of sound like the N1 mixtape tour a little bit.
Yeah, I mean.
Not the same thing.
Yeah,
the same
right.
style.
I know what you mean. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I feel like, I have enough content and enough, story-wise, to have a cool documentary. I mean, I think. So I'm going to see when my man Kenny Brown and everybody put it together, you know what I mean? They, Wiz and everybody, I'm going to try to get along to help with the production and all of that. When they put it together, I think it'll be something nice that people would love to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So. How long is the tour going to last? When's the first date to the last date?
The first date is supposed to be Father's Day, this Sunday coming up, June 18th. And I'm trying to get to 50, man. I got 34 wins, I think, or 33. I got checked. But I'm trying to get to 50. I'm trying to retire from 1-on-1 at 50 wins. So
Okay.
so that might be, just what I mean. I don't plan on losing at all. I wish I can go 16-0, 17-0. But we be realistic. It's a possibility that you could lose a game because you're gonna be playing the top of the line all throughout. So give or take a loss or two. You know what I mean? Maybe 20 cities, maybe. But you gotta think. So if I go to Chicago, that's one. When I go to New York, that's Staten Island, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens, and Bronx. Yep. That's 5. Mm-hmm. So that'd be 6 just on 2 trips. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's going to last. I'm trying to have the movie come out around March.
March?
Yeah.
All right.
So
we're going to hold you to that.
Yeah, that's the plan.
We need that.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, it's definitely going to happen, but that's the plan. So, but like I said, I was thinking about maybe going from June to June, but if I can make it happen, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of games that I want to happen outside, like, DC, me and Jimmy Black, that's going to be outside. So, you know what I mean? That's going to be like this summer. But, the other games that could be inside, it could be through the window, it could be, whatever. But I'm going to try to hurry up. I'm getting old, though, you know what I mean? So, my body needs a couple days to rest. That's why the New York trip going to be really tough because that might be like a 2-week stay or like, just like maybe I don't know. I don't know the New York map by the end of my hand, but I think Queens and Bronx is close. I think. Right. So that might be Queens and Bronx within the same week, and then maybe we go back home, come back, and do the next 2. You know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah. But So I'm excited though, man. I got my X-rays done. Everything is good, man. We ready to rock and roll. So.
Everything looking copacetic.
Yeah, man. So just try to take care of my body. Try to I'm in shape, so try to stay on that line, and protect my body, man, and just rock and roll, man. I'm excited though, man. I don't know if it seems like I'm excited, but I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Like I always try to put these things together, then it end up being a whole lot of pressure on me. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
but
that's the other reason we're here. So obviously you going on the tour, but this is the farewell tour, y'all. My man Terry. Hanging them up after this tour. So talk to me, how we feeling? Is it bittersweet? Is it, you're kind of not happy to be done, but like, just like, take a weight off your shoulder. How we feeling?
I'm 37, you know what I mean? I'll be 38 in November, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's time, you know what I mean? 2 years ago, I was saying, I want to play a serious one-on-one game at 40. But then now I'm like, bro, I don't want to play no one-on-one game. You know what I mean? Because I don't ever want, even though my age is 37, but I don't feel like the 2 games that I lost ever, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I lost because of my age. It was just like, I made a mistake here and I know better. You know what I mean? I did this and I wasn't on my A game. You know what I mean? It's just like, so that ain't what it is yet. And I just don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be like, you know what, man? My body is really not there and I'm just getting too old for this shit, and I lost. I don't want it to be like that. So while I still can do it at a high level, I just want to get these games that everybody, because, I done created rivals a little bit. I created things that people want to see. So I want to get these games out the way and, challenge some other people and, bring my brand and to some other cities that might got their thing popping and just uplift us or uplift them and, but it just give us, me and the hitters I bring with me, give them a different, level of notoriety and things like that. So, it ain't, even though it's my one-on-one farewell tour, it's going to be my movie, my documentary, but it's still going to be for my players at the end of the day, who I care so much about as well. So
talk to me about, you keep talking about your hitters. Who we passing their torch to? I know it's not going to be just one guy, right? But who are you going to put your time into?
Definitely. Somebody like Scoop has his own brand, right? So, he'll be one of the guys that'll be carrying the torch, from our area. He's from PG, so it's always like a PG versus DC or PG versus Baltimore, DC versus Baltimore. But when we leave Maryland and leave the area, the district, from DC, then there's always us versus everybody else. So right. But you got him, you got Greg. It's up and coming guys, you got Relly, it's a lot, it's a lot of guys, it's a lot though, man. Then
too many to count.
It's a lot of up and coming. So it's just who's really gonna carry the torch as though they'll be the number one guy right away. I mean, I think it probably will be school right away.
Yeah.
Because, you got some people on his side already think he's the number one guy. So,
I mean, at the end of the day, when you're putting all this time and effort in, at that point, it's kind of like whoever want to take it. You know what I mean? It's whoever want to, whoever want to, not even necessarily the top spot.
I think it's going to be dope, because I think the way I got it mapped out, if I got to look on my schedule, but I think me and School, our rematch is the last stop. I think that's the last stop.
Just what we need.
Yeah, so that'll be, you know what I mean? Either way it go, I win, you know what I mean? I could pass the torch. He win, he took the torch. You know what I'm saying? Or he took the crown. You know what I mean? Either way, so.
It's good. That's a good plot. It sounds like something out of a movie.
I mean, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's gonna be dope though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at the point now, like, I don't really. I'm not about to say I don't care how it go, because I definitely want to go. I definitely want to go whatever and donut. You know what I mean? The whole time, but I'm saying, like, I'm at peace with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know. You know what I mean? Father Time, he's right there. You know what I mean? He walking around the corner. You know what I mean? He trying to come and get me. You know what I'm saying? So. You know what I mean? I ain't going to run from him no more, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to let it be, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to end how I need to end, you know what I mean? Then I can just put the time into my daughter that's playing, and then my son that'll be playing sooner or later, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, you're finishing the story on your terms. That's how you want to go out.
Yeah.
You're not going to wait for the breakdown. You're just going to go out how you want to go.
Right, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I know what you. Shit, ACL, you know what I mean? Or shit, Achilles, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Like, well, man, I just can't, you know what I mean? Or I didn't sit around, got fat, or whatever. I just... You know what I mean? I'm still tip top, so let's go. Let's go on the road. Let's take this shit on the road. Let's just see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then once you finish, then you can say, all right, now I'm at rest.
I think that's an important factor, because I think a lot of people they love it so much that they play until they they crash out. Right? Yeah. It takes a lot of mental strength to be able to just be like, you know what? Yeah. I got to put it down. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of respect to you for on that.
38 though, man. I've been playing basketball damn near every day or every 2 days at least since I was 7 years old, 8 years old. You know what I mean? That's 30, 31, 32 years. You know what I'm saying? So
you're on the LeBron diet.
Huh?
You're on the LeBron diet.
Yeah,
same
you know
deal.
what I mean? So that's why I like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't the biggest fan of
athletes or, basketball players. Don't even have to be basketball players. Who did you kind of grow up, not idolizing, but like maybe modeling your game after, anything like that? And don't even need to just be on the top line. Just anybody, locally, anybody.
Oh, well, I mean, locally, Mo Hatton, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope he ain't watching, because, we always got our little feud. I hate telling him, but that was my favorite player of all time.
I hope Mo watching, yo.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Well, he know, though. You know what I mean? That's my favorite player of all time. It's from, from Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? Mo Hatton. And, I was I always loved Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I really, really, like, love somebody. Like, I was an AI and Kobe guy.
Gotcha.
And then I had to, like, pick a side, because that was, like, a crazy beef around the time.
Absolutely.
So I was the Kobe guy, you know what I'm saying? Now I like Steph, you know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
But, I mean, I like everybody. Like, I love Kyrie. I love KD. I love Kyrie, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just, like, I tried to, like, copy, like, Kobe mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like, just learning, like, how to think. Like, I tell a lot of people, like, the one-on-one game wise, like, tell them, like, it's more, it ain't all about just being the most athletic or being the fastest or having the most moves. It's a lot of things you can outthink. You can outthink somebody and get a win sometimes. And sometimes you need to use your mind. Like, you got to use your head to get a win sometimes. And, you know what I mean? I didn't use my mindset and got a few wins, like, out of my 30-something, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't always just talent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's always more to it.
Yeah, you know what absolutely. I mean? So, because I feel like I played Moon, right? I lost, and that's the only time I ever lost here. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, talent-wise, I feel like, we equal. You know what I mean? Some could say he's more talented, some could say I'm more talented, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I feel like it's equal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 16 years older than him, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was up 10-8, point 8, and I just feel like I know better than what I did. I took, like, a bad angle, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Just, like, little, like, mental things like that, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really got to do, you know what I'm saying? Because we could play again, and it could be 11-10 again, or it could be 11-5, it could be 11-4, it could be 11-8. You know what I'm saying? You never know how I can end up on that day, but it's just, like, you got to, the mental things you got to cut out, so you got to be on top of your mental when you're in these games, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you carrying, like, the quote-unquote legacy, when you carrying, like, the names or the titles that people give you, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So,
I mean, especially at 38, that mental capacity just as important as the physical part. Definitely. At that point.
Yeah. But even, it don't matter how old you are, it is. But I mean,
no, for sure.
But everybody, as you get older in basketball, you get smarter as you go, you know what I'm saying? So it started being like, bro, if I can just jab you left and go right and lay the ball up all 11, that's what I'll do.
Exactly.
See, before I wouldn't have did that because I want to do something slick. I want to like possibly get
want
a
to showcase
dunk
yourself.
or something like that. Now I just want to win. So that's all I care. I don't care if it's 11 hook shots. I got to win. I don't care.
So like that, an example like that where you talk about we just attack. Is that something besides that you wish you knew back in the day to kind of, help lift yourself? Is there anything else that like, you wish you knew that you know now that you wish you would have known when you were 16 years old or something like that?
As far as one-on-one?
Anyway, anything.
Well, I mean, of course, I wish I knew what I knew now about basketball when I was like high school or something. You know what I mean? Definitely. You know what I mean? Even as a man or like as a person, I wish I knew what I knew because things would have turned out different. But
right.
I feel like I always had a good mental part. You know what I'm saying? It's just my basketball journey and like the like where I had to go to get my respect was different than a lot of other people. So my mental was different like year by year. You know what I mean? It was some years. Sad to say, like, I cared more about my respect than, like, that actual game. And it's just like a rec league, so over this game, I cared more about my respect for people to know, like, to really respect me. So it was just like, I'd rather get 50. I don't care if we win or not. I'd rather get 50 because everybody watching. That was my mental for a while. Then my mental was like, all right, come on, now you got to take that 50 down to, like, 35 and get the win. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, but it was like, they ain't respecting me yet. So shit, fuck it, I'm getting 60 this time.
Was it hard to change that mentality? Like, did that take a lot out of you, or was it just?
I mean, once I felt like I got the respect, it was easy because it's like, I said this in so many interviews, right? Like, it was a time where because of where I'm from, and then I moved out to the county and went to school in the county,
right?
And then I only was playing in the city like in the summertime, like BNBL Project Survival. So then like when high school come around, I'm averaging 23, 22. It's like he playing in Parkville, so. He's supposed to do that, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm like, dang, y'all forgot about what I do in the summer too? So it was just like, all right. So I had to do that long journey of like getting respect. And then, of course, because of like, things that happen in life, you know what I mean? I semi-pro.
Yeah.
So it was just like, yeah, of course he would do that semi-pro. So now, now we back in the hood, all the hood leagues and all the like rec leagues and shit like that. You know what I mean? You got to get baskets. Like our town respect baskets. Like, if you'll score, that's what we respect. Yeah, you can play defense, they love it. You get a good point guard, they recognize it, but, you know what I'm saying, you get a basket. That's the type of respect I want. I wanted to know, like, niggas can't fuck with me. That's how I was always carrying it. So I had to, like, that's how I had to be.
I feel you. Do you think there was ever can you pinpoint, like, a time in your career where you think that respect kind of flipped? Like, what you was trying to make up for? Yeah, you was trying to make up for it, playing out in the county and shit?
I think it was, man, it's not crazy, right? I graduated high school in 2003.
Okay.
So from 2003 all the way to 2015, I was fighting for this respect. Like, I had to, it was so many leagues and games I done played in where I got no room for error. Like, I can't have no bad game and get 15 and then lose. It's like, hold up. He ain't like what y'all said. You know what I mean? Y'all popping shit now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, y'all two come see me play, and like, this nigga had 50. He really the shit. But then he like, all right, I'm gonna come check him out. So now, fuck what I did in front of y'all. He don't care that shit. He want to see.
It's got to be right.
So now I gotta do it again.
Yep.
And then now when he tells somebody, it's just like, and you start saying it. You start saying more people. Like when I played with the Shuckers, that's like far out. It's like out 97, 97 South. Yeah. So it's like, you'll see more people from in town coming out there, and you like, oh, all right, he out here to see it. And then immediately it might just go from like, I got it. Because I know him, if he go back and tell motherfuckers, yeah, Terry, then I know that the respect on God, I got to get 50.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hopefully we win, but I got to get like 50. You know what I'm saying? And I was doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? But 2015, the Baltimore Hawks came about.
Yep, remember.
And, I only played that 1 year. The first year they came about, that was the year. That was like, that's when the city really was like, you know what? I feel like Terry the shit. So like right now, I can go to a game right now and I can just go 0 for 30. And this is going to be like, man, Terry played like shit today. It ain't going to be like, oh, he ain't the shit or he ain't.
Because he been there.
It's just like, man, he just had an off day today. You know what I'm saying? So that was the time. 2015, Halloween. That was the first game I remember. That was it.
How you playing that game? What was the final? What was the line?
I had now I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. I had like 6 in the first half. And we was down like 16. I had like 33. Yeah. We came back and won. And I hit the dude with like a crazy hezzy. One dribble drive, snatch back. You know what I'm saying? I remember, God rest his soul, Scooter was there. Like it was packed. You know what I mean? They had the fire marshal in there about to shut it down, and shit was lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Yeah, I remember that shit though, and it was just like I feel like it shifted whereas though I was finally at peace. Like, all right, you know what I mean? All right, y'all motherfuckers finally get it. All right, cool. You know what I mean? So
It took a little too long, but you got that.
yeah,
Absolutely. No, I completely understand, bro. So we talk about kind of throwing it back, 03, 15 years, doing all that. Let's put it on the forefront with Free Smoke. How did Free Smoke come about? What was the thought process? How did it line up? What fueled the fire? Talk to us about that.
It's more so about like like I said, I'm semi-pro, so when everybody going overseas and we still here.
Yep.
All summer, all winter, all spring, all fall, all that shit. So I always just playing like that's like all my one-on-one games. All of them not on Free Smoke.
Yeah.
About like 8 or 9, like about 10, 11 of them is like in the street, like before it was any Free Smoke or nothing. And I started being known for that. And then I did like movies, I did comedy, I did even with basketball. So like my popularity got higher. And now, me and Matt Buckets, shout out to Matt Buckets, we just was like, yo, we about to start pulling up on motherfuckers. But like the era we came up in playing one-on-one, it was always about money.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
10,000 this, 5,000 this, 6,000 this. And look, you want to bet 10,000? Yo, you bet 10,000 on me. It don't matter. Like we gonna win or we ain't gonna lose.
Yeah.
So it's like then you start playing people that got the same mindset as you. So it's like, all right, it's 10-10. Game goes to 11. Ball go out of bounds. No, my ball. Or it ain't no game. No, fuck that. My ball ain't no game. All right, well it's over then. So you know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lose. I ain't losing your money, and you ain't losing my money. So then it was just more so like, look, we gonna just start pulling up on motherfuckers, playing one-on-one. It ain't gotta be for no money and no shit like that. And then we was like, man, you want some smoke? Just come get it. It's just free. And we just started saying Free Smoke. But then we started going to like each court all over Baltimore City. So then I just added the tour to it. So it was just Free Smoke tour. So that was 2019. So then 2020, y'all know 2020 is the COVID year.
Yep.
So COVID happened, end of January, February when it really hit. So I had a big summer plan. Like I was like, I could really turn this into something. But then the COVID hit. So, we all was on the lives and, now I'm just sitting back, everybody arguing, everybody throwing out matchups. So, I'm just sitting back, using my creativity, like, okay, that's a matchup, that's a matchup, that's a matchup. Now, all the courts in Baltimore City got taken down.
Yep.
When the COVID hit, right? Only thing was up. It could be more, but I know at least 80% of them was gone. Like, it could be some shit I ain't know about, but as far as what we knew, everything was down except for Cherry Hill and Green Spring.
Mm-hmm.
So we had it set up out Green Spring. I hit Fleet, I hit Reggie, I hit Pee Wee. Yep. Shout out to my Cherry Hill boys. Yo, I'm coming out there at Free Smoke. All right, we got you, boy. You good. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I guess the mayor and everybody got wind of the shit. They took the rims down. But they took the rims down like 2 days before the event.
Yeah.
So then my little cousin Naughty called me and said, yo, what about Green Spring? I said, Park Heights? I said, that's too in the open. Because you basically trying to like, at that moment, you trying to hide from like the police.
Of course. Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, it's so in the open. He like, yo, but they can't take that down because that's not owned by the city. Or some shit like that he said. So I said, well, that's what we doing. We went over there and we had a great turnout, right? Probably like 100 people, right? So I'm like, okay. But we only had 2 games, right? Because the game I was supposed to play in Kill and Jimmy didn't happen. So it was like, it was only 2 games. But then the next week was June 7th. It was like, it was June 7th. And that was, God rest in peace, G Songs. That was his death date. Yep. That was the first year that he was gone because he died 19.
Yep.
So we had that day, and I played Ice. I played Ice Cuddy out Green Spring, and it was like 600 people out there.
Shut it down.
And then I was like, oh shit. And then that was the vibes every Sunday that whole summer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Besides the one Wednesday we did Kill and Jimmy at Bochecks, and it was like 500 people. And then one day, I think maybe in August, we did Dante Green versus Jeff Allen. We did that out.
I remember that one.
And that was like 400 or 500 people. You know what I'm saying? That was only one game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that just became the vibes. And then we just been going ever since then. And I was like, man, shit, when it get cold, I said, we're going, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go inside. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's been up ever since then. You know what I'm saying? So
just hit the ground running, never stopped.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a game? So like everybody, in any line of work, they got a vision of what they try to put together when you own.
I like me an Ice game because we played the first game. I like me an Ice.
Walk us through that game.
All right. See, look, right. This is what I feel like. I told you before. I feel like, and we didn't have no refs yet, right? I didn't have no refs yet. I'm gonna tell you why we would have got refs, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why we got refs.
See, this is why I asked these questions.
Shout out to these 2 players. I think one of them on the live. Shout out to them too. Why we had got refs. So me and Ice game, right? It was me being cocky, right? And I'm like, he don't even hoop like that no more. Because first of all, Ice Cuddy is a legend, Baltimore. Like he was the shit.
Yeah.
But he ain't been hooping. So I'm like, bro, I've been active. Like this, I'm the shit. This is my town now. Like so, you ain't about to come out no motherfucking couch and come out here and think you gonna beat me. I'm like, man, I'm gonna beat the shit out of Ice. I'm gonna beat him 11-4 and shit like that, right? So, like the mental part, right? He beat me mentally because he was doing shit that like was getting me upset, but he's so much of a nice guy, like you can't really get mad at him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he was doing little shit. I feel like shit was just going his way for real, right? And it ended up being 10-10, right? I went up 7-4, right? And I get to talking crazy. The next thing you know, it's 8-7. I'm down one, and then I was actually down 10-9. That's the first time I ever been facing like losing, down, like when somebody got a point, and I didn't. So. It was a lot of but it was like I feel like he got like 3 or 4 bad calls went his way, right? And then, so what I did was I said, "Fuck that." When it got closer, I made like 3 or 4 bad calls, right? So then now it's 9-up. He get a stop. He scored. It's 10-9. So now I'm like shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, because one thing people know I hate 10-10s. You know what I mean? When I'm spectating and running the event, I love it. It's like the best shit in the world. But in the game, because I can imagine that's how the other players feel. I fucking hate 10-10s. I despise it. I hate it. I try so hard to stay away from 10-10s. But I'm like, it just had to be a 10-10 if I'm going to win because I'm down 10-9, right? So I got a block, and then I scored, right? And then it's just like, Ice is so nice of a guy. I don't know why I did this. I went to him. I said, look, there's been a lot of bullshit going this game. You want to go to 12, right? He said, all right, we go to 12, right? Right? So I had the ball first, right? So I scored. You know, I scored 10. I scored 11. So I got a point. But then he stopped me, and then he scored. So then I asked him, do I get the same favor? He said, it's a bet. Then, like, you know, like Mo was out there, like Steve, the referee, they was like, all right, look, we ain't about to keep going back and forth.
Can't keep doing this.
I said, all right, well, look, I gave you your favor, you gave me my favor, we're going to 13, that's it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then I scored 12 and I scored 13. And I beat him. You know what I'm saying? But it was just, the vibe out there was so crazy. Like, I mean, like, and my homeboy B just sent me a video, like, from back then. Like, they was actually sitting on the roof of Green Spring, like, looking over into the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy over there. Like it was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's one game, right? Scoob and Greg, the first game.
Okay.
The energy was just like ridiculous. Like they was arguing, they was talking crazy. You a fucking clown, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I'll beat you up.
Yeah, we
and
need
all
that.
But I'm like, man, do all that shit. You know what I mean? But you know, it ended up almost like being a fight, so we had to stop it. But the energy was crazy. The game stopped at 8-7. Scoob was up 1. The energy was just ridiculous. Like, that's another game. I love Kendall and Cat game, just the way that the game ended.
You want to talk to us about that?
Because it was just like, you know, I think Cat like showed people that he was better than what people thought. You know, everybody was just riding the Kendall wave at that time. You know what I'm saying? Yo, anybody on this live, can y'all call my wife and tell her I'm on still at the podcast, I'm on live.
That's how you know you got it like that. If you telling people on live to call your wife.
Somebody on here. But yeah, so it was like, you know, man, Kendall had like a dry spot in that game, you know what I'm saying? Like Cat hit like 3-4 in a row. And then but Kendall just like, you know, he got a second win. He hit the one dribble going left. One leg fade off the glass for the game winner, and shit just like, and we all just erupted.
Shut it down.
It was crazy, man. It's a lot of games, bro. And Kendall and D-Rock game.
Yeah.
Kendall and D-Rock game, like, cause that's the day that's the first time I ever had a Free Smoke Tour MVP. That was the COVID summer.
Yeah.
D-Rock got the MVP. That's the day he got the award. And he played Kendall. And, you know, Kendall was up like 6-0. He came back, tied it at 7. And then it was like 10-9. And Kendall ended up beating him 11-9. But, like, that energy was, like, crazy. And it was, like, dark. We had, like, hella, like, I had some people bring their camera lights. I had phones and shit out there. and all that shit. Like it was crazy. But you know what I mean? It's a lot. I forgot. Killing Jimmy.
I was gonna bring that up if you didn't. So I'm glad you brought it up.
Killing Jimmy. Oh my goodness! Like you know what I mean? Yeah, killing Jimmy. That was amazing. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it didn't end. It ended 9-9, but the energy was crazy. And I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story about that game. It's the only time I got shut down by the city of Green Spring. 1 week I got shut down. They shut me down, and I had to go do a meeting. Like the mayor was there, the chief of police, the major in that area in the northwestern district.
Yep.
We all was in a meeting. But while we at the meeting, killing Jimmy. Like I didn't know because I had my phone away.
Of course.
They called me like 40 times, and then when I after I got the meeting over, they was like, "Look, all right, that's what's going on. It's positive. We're gonna be over there. We're gonna have police over there to help you pass out masks, make sure not hanging." They start being over there just chilling.
Yeah.
When I walked out, my wife called me like 30 times, and I was like, "Jimmy," I'm like, "Damn, Kill probably called me like 8 times. Jimmy like 8 times, but my wife called me like 20 times." So I'm like, the wife, I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I look at the text. She like, because that's the first thing I did. So before I call back, let me see what she text first. She must have texted some shit. I must have did something, right? So she like, damn, like, so you putting together games and you ain't telling me about the game. Then I'm like, well, what the fuck you talking about? So then I look at IG, I got like 40 mentions, and I'm like, oh. And then I call Kilner back. He like, yo, what's up, bro? We on? I'm like, what you talking about? He like, man, Jimmy coming down. They need you to get the refs and put everything together. I'm like, all right, say less. Where we going? He like, we going to boat checks. Say less. Went down there. We had to fucking screw the rims on tight because Bocek, the shit was leaning a little bit.
Yep.
Had to screw the rims up there tighter. Shit was good, and then we was down like an hour and a half. We was there, and that shit was crazy. Like one of the biggest crowds like ever. You know what I'm saying? Like
got it just like that.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? That lets you know just like how much people was fucking with me and how big of a star Kill was and how big of a star Jimmy was. You know what I'm saying? Like. So that was like all three of us collectively. More so them two because it's just like, it don't matter. Even if it wasn't no free smoke, where they would have played at, everybody would have been there. But it was just like, because of what I had going on and what I was doing and being the only one doing it, they called me like, yo, you got to get us a ref. And you got like, we going down here, you got to get the people. I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't going to get the people there. They like, yo, you got to post it something because they know it's official when you post it. Right. And then they, made a little flyer real quick, posted it, and that shit was crazy. Dante and Jeff game was ridiculous. That was
I remember that one vividly.
And it's just because the reason why they are so monumental to me is because they are put together so quickly, and it was only one game. Yeah. Everybody was there. Like, we went out Dorsey Road for that because Tay was like, no, you got to come to Baltimore. He like, no, you got to come to D.C. We like, we're going to meet in the middle. We're going to do Dorsey Road. You know what I'm saying? We was out there. That shit was, man, so.
That's actually a kind of a good segue, just to, step off Free Smoke for a second. We talked about some good players, Kill, Jimmy. What's the expectations for the Brunson this summer? How we feeling?
Oh, man, I think it's going to be crazy. I think it was really, the vibes came back last summer. They came back to what they really used to be. Mm-hmm. You got Quickly down there. You had Bones come through there. Yep. The legendary. He was crazy. He don't even need to come back. He was crazy. Yeah, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be one of them ones, you know what I'm saying?
You want to talk any shit?
Oh, yeah, they are. I'm going crazy. Like, they know I'm going to go crazy. Like, I ain't playing with nobody, but I think everybody on that type of time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody waiting, so I think it's really going to be, one of the ones again, you know what I'm saying? So
I do got to ask you, so you talk about all these good games from Free Smoke. I do got one question because I kid you not, bro. I think you was part of one of the most entertaining basketball games I've ever seen live in person. Really? Yeah, absolutely. The joint when Kill hit the 3 from half court.
Oh, 5-on-5 game. Oh yeah,
I'm talking about Brunson. Yeah,
the game we lost in the playoffs. Yeah.
So
Davon hit a fucking.
Oh my god, bro!
A fucking one leg 3 from half court.
But they also talk a lot about Kills. Kill hitting the 3, but they forgot that you hit the little runner. 10 seconds.
And I had like
before.
30. Yeah, I had like 30. Like, but I mean. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Kill do shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole time I was sitting there. But the funny thing is, that really could have been an and one, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, he just be hitting the floor hard as shit. But I'm saying, like, that was crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I go down, I hit the 3, and then I hit the layup to put us up. To put us up.
I think y'all went
up.
No,
I tied it. When I hit the layup, I tied it.
Yeah, you tied it because then Head came back and hit the 3.
We was down 5. I hit the 3. Mm-hmm. Now we down 2. We got to stop. I hit the layup. We tied it. Davon came down.
Head came back hit the one-legged 3.
Yeah, and they went up 3, and then Kill hit that. Then hit the tied up. So that was legendary. That was crazy.
I kid you not, bro. I watched a lot of basketball in my life. I don't think I've ever enjoyed watching a game one night.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That game was crazy. Everybody, shit was back and forth. Like, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you that same question. I'm talking about, Free Smoke. I'm talking about high school. Has there ever been what do you think is the best game you ever been a part of, or a couple of the best games you ever been a part of? I'm talking, shutdowns. I'm talking about somebody dropping 60. I'm like, what do you think is, some of the best games?
And it don't really have to be about me. You saying
whatever. But I would prefer if you was there, as long as you was in the building.
Well, all right. So
just give me like 3.
All right. Mo Hatton at the Mello Center. Versus like Mo versus Draper, Mello versus Dante that game. They had Mo and them had Sam Cassell on their team. You know what I mean? That was legendary. Mo had like 70. That was legendary.
It's just straight legendary.
Mello versus Dante one day. Dante, you know you my boy. We talk about this all the time. Mello had like 70.
Jalen Rose.
One of my favorite games I ever had in the Brunson is the week after Gerald passed away. It was like a very emotional game for me, because he used to always be like up and down the sideline talking shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those, it's a lot of them games over when the Brunson was at BCC. It's really, really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the championship game was crazy with Will, Malcolm, and all of them, Kill and all of that. Will and them versus Harvey Grant and them, the brothers. Harvey Grant, Jeremy Grant, all of them. Like that shit was that was crazy.
Just all legendary names coming out.
Yeah, like I mean, it was I played in the game. I was actually on the team where like Will coming out party when they played when it was Under Armour versus Baltimore, and he had 72 against like Brandon Jennings and them. I was in that game. God. That was crazy.
Lockouts.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. Then
that's why I say 3 because I know you got 50.
I was at the lockout game. When KD came out here, that was ridiculous. My first game at Barry Farms ever. It's a lot. Oh, Gerald game at Barry Farms versus KD. Gerald had like 40 in the win, but KD had like 60. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
So. That's one of my favorite games I ever watched, though. Man, rest in peace to the legend, man.
Absolutely. Rest in peace to the legend, man. That's why I had to cut you to 3 because I know you got a million of them.
It's a whole lot, man. It's a whole lot. Like, even like when I played the Baltimore Hawks, like my first year, we was in Richmond, and I played terrible that game, and they still was like double teaming. It was like 10 seconds they were double teaming. We was down 1. And Deshaun Bradshaw got the ball, walked all the way up the court. He like, boom, boom, turn. He just pulled up for a 3, hit that bitch at the buzzer, and we won at the buzzer. Like, that was one of my favorite games with the Hawks. That might have been my favorite game with the Hawks ever, you know what I'm saying? And I played like shit, but it was just, I did a couple of little small things. Like, I got a couple of little buckets, like, when I supposed to got it. But,
it's sentimental shit.
But, yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's a lot, though, man. I can't even. Because it's so much shit, and I had left out the building because I thought Bones wasn't showing up. And as soon as I left, they say he just walked in and he got like 65 or some shit like that. So I know that would have been one of the best ones too. So,
bro, we missed Bones. So he was supposed to come the week. Somebody was saying he was coming the week before. Yeah. So we pulled up because we thought he was gonna be there. And I think that was the week that Rudy Gay and all them was there. So we still got a good show.
Right.
But we was like, damn, Bones ain't come out. And then I don't remember what we had to do. Me and him had to do something the next week. And of course, that's when Bones showed up. Drop that, bro. Just how it go though. But all right, bro. I got a couple more questions, but we getting ready to wrap up soon. So I am curious. This is more like a professionalism question. So it's one thing to have your own entity. It's one thing to have your own project. We'll call it right. But it's another thing to There's one thing to be the CEO. It's another thing to be the CEO plus being a part of.
Yeah.
What is it like to balance those two things? Having to be the professional guy who's got to pay attention to everything, all the little details, but you also playing. What does that look like for you?
That shit be super tough, man. Like I don't complain about it, but those days when I got to run the event and I have to play, like that's why I pick and choose. Like a lot of times I just play first. I play first because anything can happen at the event, and I don't want it to fuck with my mindset, and then I got to play at the end. You know what I'm saying? So like it's tough. It's tough. But I'm, pretty soon I won't have to do that no more. So,
we almost done, bro. We almost.
You know what I mean? So, but it's tough though, man. But you always gotta remember, like, this is your brand. A lot of people are here because of you. A lot of people, as I got older, you know what I mean? Like I'm 37. I know it's not super old, but like a lot of these motherfuckers that be coming in there playing, man, they 21, 24,
Yeah,
26.
absolutely.
And they like, yo, we look, they look up to me and shit like that. That should be weird, like hearing it. Because I'm used, like, coming up, I always was like the youngest
Right.
on like all the teams and shit like that. Then I started being like the oldest on all the teams and shit like that. But yeah, so I just gotta remember, like, man, you gotta always stay professional, because at the end of the day, when they at the game, when they playing the one-on-one games and they get out of character or they get super mad about something, I gotta go to them and tell them, look, about, so they can't see me getting out of character. I gotta really lead by example. You know what I mean?
Attitude reflects leadership.
Yeah, so.
No doubt. Nah, I feel that, bro. That's actually a good. That's going to segue to our last question. So Terry Hosley, everybody knows you as the basketball guy, right? They see you on IG, they see you at the tour, they see you at the Brunson, they see you everywhere. Tell the viewers a couple of things about Terry Hosley that you might not see, because everything is all basketball for you when you on the front line. What's something you want the the listeners and the viewers to know about Terry Hosley?
I go through a lot, man. I go through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my family, like, we didn't like had to really like get it out the mud sometimes. We didn't like struggled and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mother passed away in 2005. I done dealt with depression. You know what I mean? All my life since then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
And you gotta keep that shit cute. You gotta keep that shit. I gotta keep my personality for people when I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But like, man, like, to be honest, sometimes, man, I do. Sometimes I'll go home and I'll get in my little corner when everybody's sleeping. I just cry about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm to the point now, I ain't really ashamed to like say it. But,
absolutely.
Yeah, like, a lot of people don't know that though, man. Like, and then once I went to school and everything, and I learned really what depression means, and I was like, well, shit. Well, I really dealt with that then. I was suffering from that. Really, if that's really what that means, I had it bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of all my bad decisions in life came from me dealing with depression from losing my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So,
my condolences, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know, man. Like, some things happen, man. Like a Mother's Day will go by and she'd be cool, but then a Mother's Day will come up and that shit just hit me like it just happened, and I'd be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, I deal with that a lot though, man. Like, and I feel like as I'm getting older, I get more emotional. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is, man. Like, yo, it's this show, right? On Netflix, man. If y'all can remember the name, I can't remember the name, but it was about a guy. He was from like Italy or some shit, and he was a cook. And he married.
He married
Paula Patton. Is that her name?
I know what show you talking about.
What the fuck is it called?
I know it. My girl watched that show.
And bro, like, when I tell you, I was crying like a motherfucker. Like, I wanted to stop watching.
No, I believe it. No, I believe it.
I cannot believe, yo. Somebody tell me what the fuck the name. I know somebody in the live would have told me my phone died.
Yeah, somebody gotta look that up because I know exactly what show you talking about.
What the fuck is the name of that shit, yo?
Cause she go overseas for school.
She go overseas
right?
for school, like, for artists, and she ended up marrying him, and then he get cancer.
Yep, and then
it just reminds you of like you of like how. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It just reminds you of like how, like, in life shit would be going so good, and then something fucked up would just happen for no reason. You be like, yo. Because I'm watching and I'm like, even though I know it's a show, but I'm like, bro, why the fuck? All the shit he went through, he came over to the United States to be with her family. And he finally got something good, his own restaurant, and all that shit didn't that happen. Like, why the fuck did that have to happen? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But that's real life shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I be like, man, you gotta ride that motherfucker till the wheels fall off, man. You never know when it could be your time. You never know when somebody's so close to you, it could be their time. You never know when you're gonna be hit with some shit that you're gonna have to really deal with. So that's why I'm blessed that I can still play, and I'm at this age I can still play, and I got so many like hitters that's really to go play and rock out for me like anytime I call, and and I got like a wife and a family that support me. You know what I'm saying? I got kids, and you know what I'm saying. I just pray that I can just get through this farewell tour. You know what I mean? Successfully, the movie be successful, and then I can just really stay in my kids' life until they all grown at least. You know what I'm saying? That's just my goal in life at this point. You know what I mean? Of course, a nigga want to be rich and do all that shit, but if I can get by, I can provide like a great life for my children, and I can just be alive and well, at least until they're grown, I'm cool.
I mean, it take a real stand-up man to say some shit like that also.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So, man, that was a great place to cap that shit, bro. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, man.
That was game for days. I really appreciate that, bro. Real shit.
Man, no, real shit though, man.
But yeah, man, that's shit. I'm ready to hop out on that note. To be honest, anything you want to plug? Obviously, we know what you plugging. But anything you want to wrap up on?
Man,
tell them where to find you.
Free Smoke, man. Next Free Smoke, 4th of July. Crazy, one of the best cars ever, man. Y'all know where to find me on every social media platform, man. Terry Hosley, man. RRYHOSLEY. That's Instagram. That's Twitter. That's Facebook. That's TikTok and everything. You can find Free Smoke Tour on Instagram, Free Smoke Tour on Twitter.